The following show contains a fictional narrative that includes themes, events, and language that some may find distressing. Discretion is advised.
Welcome to This Line Isn't Secure. I am everyone's favorite pastor of the church you definitely know about, Libby. Good to see y'all. Welcome, as always, to a fantastic night. Fun, fabulous, fantastical, scary, spooky shit.
Phantasmagorical.
Sure.
Yeah.
That and more on introductions from our crew, beginning with Ty.
Hello, everyone. My name's Ty. I play Deputy U.S. Marshal Reed Hollis, a.k.a. Agent Millstone.
Hey everyone, Charlie. I'll be playing Adam Blackburn. What's going on with him? I don't know.
Man of mystery. Hey y'all, I'm Andy. I'm playing Alexander Shoemaker and Agent Merchant.
That's the end of our cast. Thanks, everyone. We'll get started in a moment here.
That's everyone.
Okay.
That's everybody. There's no one else
And
here
the
today.
asses in Japan.
And the Yellow Fanta.
I'm completely absent, mentally, physically, spiritually. I do not exist. Instead, I am inhabiting today Miranda, Agent Miranda, who is completely lost in the sauce at the house of Agent Barbas, where there are no computers, very little math, and a lot of just fucked up shit going down. So Miranda, aka Heather Stoddard, is going to do her level best to make it out alive.
Turn now in your hymnals to page 45. We have a very good classic song, Photograph, by Nickelback. Once we've gotten through that typical church opening of Nickelback, we will now hit our recap. We'll let you sing along at home on your own time. For now, let's hit the recap. Hawk, give us a 411, please.
Absolutely. Gathered together in the Dorchester House's security center, Merchant and Miranda viewed a strange video. People seemed to speak directly to them from out of strange places. What should have been a video showcasing the missing members of the facility instead had cryptic and strange communications, evocations of some of the phrases and images that have already been cropping up around these cases. Merchant took it poorly. Miranda took it with the sad nihilism that she has taken every other revelation these past few years. From there, we spent a little more time investigating the Dorchester house, including the break room, which is typically closed and was locked when we arrived, but looked like the exterior, especially the lock, had been clawed at by someone attempting to break in or break down, perhaps, the sturdy door. The nurse admitted us so that we could speak to a older inmate there who was busy taking a methadone injection to curb her cravings. Her conversations also indicated that something odd was going on, as much as we had already come to terms with the fact that something odd was going on at the Dorchester house. The head nurse invited us around, but we informed her that we had other business and might return to Dorchester later that night because we needed to investigate Agent Barbas, our supposed contact here near the Dorchester house. When we arrived at his house in a quaint, quiet suburb, we discovered that it looked rather out of place. Run down, mail piled up, damage evident, high grass in front. Clearly not the kind of place a well person has been living and maintaining. His neighbor, a security guard who identified himself as a protector of the sheep, worked with us to identify some details of Barbas's absence, although he was unable to tell us much really impactful and specific detail. He did reinforce what we already knew. Barbas was not a well man. We entered Barbas's house where the evident decay, disrepair, and terrible state of everything was more and more clear. While Miranda stood outside on watch for a while, the other 3 agents investigated the kitchen, strange devices, wiring, calling Miranda in, when the noise from the basement caught the ear of one agent in particular. Agent Meridian descended the steep stairs into the basement, and what he found there, well, I don't really remember what it is, but I think Libby might.
Some people take solace in the unawareness, the realization that death will come and meet them somewhere, but they don't know what that death will look like. They don't know what that death will sound or feel like. The smell of greasy gears, the ponging of pendulums swinging back and forth violently against what looks to be a carburetor for a 1956 Ford truck. It is quite frightening to know that death is standing in front of you. But maybe for Meridian, it's not as frightening. Someone who's been through many things in life, all of which death coming very close to taking the last breath that they'll ever breathe. Maybe it's comforting to know that the clock that's 12 feet tall, towering over with tubes and rackets, large, will look to be bits of baking, industrial baking ovens, all car gears, everything pushed into one amalgamation of frightening death, is here now, and is beckoning you to join it in the land of make-believe, in the land of existing but not existing. The end. It wants you to join it and whatever the end is, looks like, or sounds like. So, as you stand there, this large grandfather clock, you see what looks to be the shaft of an umbrella, kind of unmerges, stops being one with the center column of this large clock. And this sharpened spike that maybe was some kind of umbrella or maybe some kind of spear or whatever warhead, javelin. It certainly is very, very broad and could spell the end of you in one foul swoop. If we had a camera crew in that house, next we would see Reed and we would see, Millstone and Miranda dashing through the home to the aid of whatever is happening downstairs. Their friend Meridian is certainly in some kind of trouble. The sound they heard makes them feel very sure of that, though they're not exactly sure what kind. They're dashing down, likely guns drawn or some form of weapon ready, as their friend nears the end that they know he has beckoned for a long time. And so why in the world would our camera crew stop upstairs? Why would it stop behind Merchant, standing in a room in front of a device that he feels is a part of him, too? Well, the camera would stop there because not only is Meridian in death throes with a clock, Merchant is close to death himself. As the closet door to the room creaks open, inside you see a small red door, Merchant. A red door maybe 2 or 3 feet in height. And crawling out of the door, exiting, pulling himself through the door that's much too small for his adult male body, is the man you know to be Exeter, the man you know, Barbas. Bloodied, he's got all these large gashes on his head and neck and torso. And for a moment you think to yourself, those are some awfully odd-looking bandages poking out from the wounds as if they were stuffed in them to stem the flow. But you realize quickly that those are pages of paper. And he's got these large swaths of paper, almost like a phone book has been ripped out, and they're shoved into all these large, gaping, bleeding wounds. His torso is about halfway through the door before he finally looks up and sees you in his room, his study. And he seems to know, like you, that death is near. He looks up at you, and He says, "Please just end it." And deep within you, you know that will end it, truly. But ending what? Meridian, the clock is going to stab at you now. Large spike flies through the air at you, and let's see how well it does. For our viewing audience and for our listening audience, I have not rolled any dice in advance. I'm going to take the rolls of these dice as they are. I promise. Cross my little Libby heart, which is very small. That is a 44, which is a critical. So you, you are going to take not a small amount of damage here.
Can I dodge?
You certainly can.
30 on the fucking dot, bro.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, that's a good thing. That is a good thing.
30 on the fucking dot. Wow.
The large steel spike that's got some rust and dried fluid on it slams forward. It for theatrics nicks a very small portion of your trap kind of off. You feel it just singe through as if almost like it's displacing so much matter and energy that it's hot. Not in the kind of burn you in the oven kind of way, but the kind that you feel as though it's moving so quickly. It's transferring energy that fast. And it's frightening, to say the least. You hear your friends kind of moving their way down the stairs to the basement. But you certainly know that if they arrive, it will be maybe a more fair fight, but a fair fight against something that has never fought fair, because it doesn't exist, right? It's a brand new thing to you. So you've dodged this one. Upstairs, Merchant Exeter is clearly begging for death, clearly hoping that you will end it for him. And you get the feeling that this would be you picking up the mantle as the real understudy. Whether or not you accept that is up to you. But you have to make that decision right now.
Merchant will pick up the typewriter and bring it down full force on Exeter's head.
Lovely. Roll a D100 for something I don't know yet.
That would be a 42.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Turns out not hard to hit a player with the typewriter on their head when they're on the ground, mostly not moving. As the typewriter gets lifted into the air, you catch a gleam of peace. You catch a gleam of hope in the eyes of Exeter. And in his final moments, he chooses to let out the most guttural scream. It seems to echo through every single board in this old bungalow. And that scream rattles your bones. It rattles the chests, the tables. You feel the typewriter even start to shake as this guttural, almost a howl, just reverberates through the entire home that you're in. You hear the squelch next, and the sound of snapping and cracking. That signifies, short of a miracle, the end to Exeter. At that same time as the sound is bouncing off of rebar and concrete deep within the earth, each of you in the basement, because all three of you, with the exception of Merchant, are in the basement now. The clock there begins to shake and rattle with an intensity that makes you believe this is some kind of earthquake. And you each know at that time you've got your window to get out. You've got your window to escape this basement. Do you want to do anything else and tempt fate by, grabbing anything or maybe secret handshaking?
No. I am bailing.
Bailing is...
Yeah, definitely gonna bail.
Definitely bailing.
You dash up the stairs.
If this were D&D, I feel like this is the dungeon and that clock was like the boss, but I feel like in this instance we should definitely not engage in the boss battle.
Yeah. Well, and the clock has lost interest in you too. It really now has... maybe in your last moments downstairs in the basement, maybe as you're looking back to see anything we should, grab or make sure my friends are safe. In that moment when you glance upon the clock, you feel a feeling that you'll never forget. It resonates through you. The feeling of sadness and sorrow, the feeling of hopelessness and the loss of meaning. that seems to somehow emanate from this mechanical monstrosity. You each feel sorry for it, if not for a second, and likely that feeling is shaken off as you dash up the stairs, but you feel it, you remember it, you know the feeling of hopelessness and despair, and for a moment again you feel as though you're going to be a clock soon. It's just a matter of time. As you gather up in kind of kitchen area, there's a sound of rubble gathering in the basement, as though some kind of cave-in collapse of the foundation has happened. The house stops shifting, and it's quiet. Now what?
I will start catching my breath because I almost fucking died. The fuck was that downstairs?
Merchant, how are you? Sorry, I can describe for you quickly. There's a crunchy head, or what used to be a head, below you. Barbas's body is kind of halfway through this very small little red door. The typewriter thing, which also again is like the mixture of a cotton gin and a typewriter and a small engine, has taken the place of Exeter's head, almost fittingly, I suppose. And there's no doubt about the fact that he's no longer in this world.
So this moment catches up to Merchant in a terrifying way. In every way, he took the oath to do no harm. Something he has now completely, blatantly violated. He realizes the hypocrisy of the way he yelled at his other party members for executing people 20 years ago. And at the same level for him, there is a sense of peace. Because there is a mantle that he has known for 20 years is his to take, and Exeter wasn't ready. He was not the one to write the play. And so for Merchant, Dr. Shoemaker is disappearing into the background, and something else is coming to the front. A sense of purpose that he never really had with the FBI, and he doesn't really have as Gloria Shoemaker's son, and he doesn't really have as a professor of forensic psychiatry. There's a clarity of purpose that's emerging in him now. And he will actually look at the keyboard and of the typewriter, and instead of paying attention to Exeter any further, just simply types, "I will write the play." RIGHT. And then he'll get up, leave the study, close the door behind him, and wonder what the racket is downstairs.
As you round the corner, you see the group is standing in the kitchen taking account of all their limbs and appendages, and thinking about what the hell to do now. The house, by the way, is not like structurally unsound. However, it's clear that this was the thing that radiated through the whole home. Glass is shattered, china cabinets have been opened, and there's china on the floor. Clearly, loud sound occurred, in addition to the shaking of the home physically. A car door shuts outside. Someone runs. What are you doing next?
Yeah, Merchant will just look to the kind of start running down the stairs. What happened?
The sound of dress shoes running against the pavement outside is kind of what alerts you to someone running. And when I say that, that was more what I meant there. You may now answer the question. Sorry, I wanted to clarify.
Running away or toward the house?
Hard to tell. Not toward. I think you don't hear them. I mean, it's the kind of thing you're just hearing, so you're not certain. But if you had to guess, it'd be away or past, not toward.
So Reed's gonna say, "Hold that thought," and take off out the door to try to locate the source of the footsteps.
There's a van outside across the street. It's got the mundane printings of a company. on it.
Oh no.
It says, Boxer Hotel Shuttle. There's a man in the driver's seat who clearly just shut the door. Kind of sees you get out. Above the front door, you see he like looks at you, make eye contact for a moment. He's not wearing anything that you would not expect someone to drive a shuttle would be wearing. He does look at you, make eye contact, and he grabs what looks to be like an old CB radio off of what you assume is a mount on the dash or like on the the radio panel. Talks into it, looks at his watch, and puts the van in drive and begins to burn out. Drive away.
What about the person that was running? That's what I was looking for.
Likely it was him, or it was likely somebody that got into the door of the van, which is on the other side from you.
I see.
That you heard the sound of a car door shutting, and it's the amount of jostling that was happening, and the guy in the front seat could be him, or it could be someone ran behind the van, opened the door, and then closed that door.
Gotcha.
Couldn't tell. Do you want to do anything else? Do you want to try to stop him or flag him down, or?
I mean, I'm assuming they're going fast enough to where running after them isn't going to do anything.
No, running after wouldn't do anything. I mean, you could do something drastic. You can always shoot, but no, nothing else really that would be. You no effect. You're too far away. You could shout, I guess. I mean, there's things you could do, but.
Reed's a little out of his mind, but not that out of his mind yet. He did just succeed a sand roll. With flying colors. So I think he's going to pull his gun out with a mind to do something drastic, and he's just got it pointed at that van as it drives away, and then he just kind of catches his breath, and then catches his mind, and then lowers the gun and walks back inside.
Okay. Roll luck.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna call the cops.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. That's a 12.
Yeehaw. Cool. In that case, you don't slip on the mail, but you step through kind of a large pile of mail and something catches your eye as you begin to walk back inside. Looks like postcard, but it looks to be a postcard from Italy or some kind of place where there's lots of water and lights, and kind of strikes your fancy if you want to pick it up.
Yeah, Reed picks it up. And when you say it sticks out, I'm guessing it's more sticking out because there's a bunch of colors, and it's sort of strewn amongst a bunch of plain,
Bills
boring white mail.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got
Yeah, it's clearly it, and all the rest of the mail is clearly full of water damage. We've been here for a hot minute, probably. There's this weird postcard, and you look at it. It's got this kind of odd tinted photo of a large castle. The castle, again, maybe if somebody has some decent geography or history or architecture, perhaps would know more. But it looks to be European in nature, certainly. And it also looks like it's got this, it looks as almost though it were taken black and white and then colorized. It's got this kind of weird sheen going on that doesn't really feel good or normal. It just kind of makes your eyes hurt if you look at it. Not actually hurt, but kind of makes it makes your eyes not settle well, I guess. On the back of it, there is this kind of weird code or message written in some language you don't understand. It's some letters are kind of forward, some are backwards, some are upside down. They are all appear to be of the alphabet that you understand, but it doesn't really seem to read left to right or up to down. The letters aren't in the right places, upside down or otherwise. But it seems to maybe it doesn't seem like it's just totally haphazard. It seems like there is intention. So that's what makes you think it probably has some kind of meaning. But you have no idea what it is.
Yeah, so Reed's pocketed the postcard, and he's gone back inside to answer Shoemaker's question, or see if that conversation has already begun taking place, and if he is going to be accosted about why he just ran outside.
Yeah. So Miranda says, okay, leaving aside whatever the fuck is in the basement, we should do a once-over on the house again.
What's in the basement?
It's some machinery, a trap, I don't know, some fucked up thing. It shot a crossbow at Meridian or something. I couldn't really tell.
Gee. Good God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kinda,
You don't look too hot. What
Yeah.
do you see?
Clock, motor, spatulas. So much shit and it makes no sense. It's behind us now, so might as well forget about it.
And Merchant, what were you doing?
There was a study upstairs. Nothing really in it. I thought I heard
Alright.
something went up. Kind of a non-starter.
Got it. And then Reed would like to make an alertness check to see if he notices the blood spray on Merchant's pants.
Yeah, it is pretty dark in there. Yeah.
Yep, no lights are on, so yeah, you can roll alertness. Sounds good.
All right. So I'm using digital dice. 2 10s is that's a
One
zero,
hundo.
right?
I think it's 100, isn't it? Or is it because 0, 0, and then 0, 1 would be 1?
0, 0 is 100.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
Critical failure.
Okay. Yeah. That's a fucking crit fail. Cool. Great.
Yeah.
Super unaware.
Maybe you just kind of look at his shins and think to yourself, extra oil on the shins is not important right now. I'm not sure what that is, but it doesn't matter. We got to get out of here or something like that. Yeah.
Well, since I'm talking to him, can I roll also?
Sure. Go ahead. If you want to roll to him, Miranda, that'd be fine.
Nah.
25.
Seems
Under 80.
on brand with Miranda.
I'm-
Well done.
Yeah, I'm more
5.
focused on whatever the fuck is happening in the house than this drama.
25 from Meridian.
25, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You of the group, the person who has seen the most blood is ding a ding ding. So you in fact do notice the blood on Merchant's shins, knees, and a little on the thigh. It is fresh-ish. It's tough to tell when the house shook. A lot of dust was dislodged. So while you're sure it's like from today, you don't know. I mean, there are ways that it could have gotten there that are not exactly Merchant killed a guy just now, but definitely odd.
Did you cut yourself going upstairs?
What are you talking about? No, what are you
Look
talking
at your shins, man.
Oh, God.
Your shirt, your shoes, your fucking socks are all dirt. I'm like, is that blood? The fuck did you do up there, Merchant? Who's up there, Merchant?
Exeter. Exeter's up there.
He's up there and his blood is on you?
He's dead.
Yeah, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
What did you do?
Looking around, extremely nervous, suddenly Merchant just snaps to complete calm. Perhaps I should show you. Come with me.
Yeah, perhaps you fucking should.
And turns and walks up the stairs.
Do we have any butcher knives, cleavers, anything in the kitchen?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there is a big old knife block. There's no cleavers, but there are, there's a couple of steak knives and a pretty sharp looking bread knife, albeit a bit rusty.
Okay. Let me pack one of them. Let me grab the biggest one.
Okay. Yeah, you grab a serrated, longer bladed knife with the end as kind of a fork, so as to like grab pieces of bread with if you wanted to.
Did you just say something about disposing of the body with a
Well,
serrated
yeah.
bread knife?
Someone's gonna go
That
through
is
that
not-
bone.
You're not
Not
getting through the bone with that.
There's a lot of will in there. A lot of will.
Sure, man. All right, Reed's gonna follow upstairs. He's very excited to see how Shoemaker is going to explain this.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you make your way upstairs. Before you lays out, as a quick reminder, a fairly small second story, a couple of bedrooms, and a bathroom. Clearly, one bedroom rather, the door is closed. The bathroom and other bedroom are not. They're open, and things have fallen off the shelves. You see kind of a roll of TP is thematically rolled out of the bathroom as if it fell off its rack. Your guide, Merchant, arrived at the top step.
Opens the door.
Well done. Well done. You get 4 bonus points for sound effect that I think got cut off by your noise gate, but everyone, I saw it, and it was good.
In our
Exceptional.
hearts, it mattered.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all that matters in the end. This is a game of the heart. So when Merchant opens the door, does the room appear basically how we left it?
Why are you asking all these good questions? Yeah. The room seems to be roughly the same shape as when you left it. I'll say it like this. The room certainly feels like it's not the same, but it looks the same.
Resplendent. So Merchant steps in and kind of points to Exeter.
You killed the fucking handler?
Well, if it wasn't him, that was going
Yes.
to be me.
Yes, I killed him. Look,
Ice fucking
Did you ask him a single fucking question before you caved his head in? Or did you assume his brains were for decorating and not for, telling us jack shit about why we're here?
he asked me to do it.
Great. And he couldn't have waited 5 fucking minutes to be interrogated?
He was look at him. His body is shoved full of paper. He was in intense agony. He wasn't going to tell us anything.
All of you notice as well at this point that there is a red door that is very small, barely big enough for Barbas's midsection to fit through. It seems like he's stuck in there now. Again, large gaping wounds that seem to be made with some kind of like hooked blade are all over his head, chest, arms, missing a finger or 2, bleeding quite heavily. You could see pages of, what looked to be the thin kind that exist in tomes and Bibles, ripped in chunks and shoved into the wounds. It did not do a great job at stemming the flow, but clearly the cause of death was not blood loss. So,
We're in Boston. About when was this house built?
it's a good
Is it like
question.
a modern? Is it a timber framed and drywall house, or is it brick?
No, it's brick.
Okay.
So
Pretty old bungalow.
he came crawling. I was in this room. He came crawling out of the door. I turn around. He says, "End this. End me." I pick up I reacted. I picked up the typewriter, brought it down on him. Look, he only had 1 page. I tear the page. "I will write the play." That's all it said. Just kind of showing the page and then just shoving it in his pocket. He asked me to end it. He's in this crazy shape. I came out of a door he shouldn't fit through. I don't know. Maybe I thought it was like Van Fitz in an apartment.
Shaking his head with disapproval as he dons gloves and starts to investigate this crime scene.
Looking around you. Anyone else looking around at this point in time?
I'm tempted not to, but I'm going to go ahead and look through any shelves, any books in the room in particular, take notes, make lists, that sort of thing.
Okay. And Merchant?
Merchant is resolute, kind of becoming increasingly emotionless as now the secret's out. And he is going to start to get to work on removing any fingerprints from doorknob, typewriter, just kind of generally glossing over everything to remove his evidence he was there. Dr. Shoemaker has a 50 in forensics to help clean up the crime scene.
Gotcha. Okay, as we all dive into the nitty-gritty of the room, let's make sand rolls. Likely should have been made before now, but seems like a decent time to really put those into effect. Let me know what we get. Beginning, as always, with Ty. Get wrecked.
11. It's another critical success.
Dables.
I'm adapted to violence.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, so am I.
Didn't even matter. Go ahead. Our lowest friend in sanity.
Yeah. Rolled a 21, y'all. I succeeded on a sand roll.
Whoa. How apt. What a place to succeed on sand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly. That's maybe not a good thing.
Yeah. Okay, Miranda.
That's a 22. I remain unadapted to violence.
Nice. All right, well, yeah, none of you lose any sand. What a wonderful time in this room with a dead body that you're having together. So you all begin to look around the room. The general, idea of this space is a study/bedroom. There's paper all over the floors. There's, what seem to be book bindings and things that are lying all across the bed. There are sheets that clearly haven't been washed in a millennia or so. And again, the smell of gasoline and oil and industrial is really seeping into your nostrils as you move around and shift items in the area. The books that are on the floor, the pages that are all over, seem to be all kinds of different books, all kinds of different writings from fiction, nonfiction. There seem to be some self-help books, some older books that seem to be written in a different language. There's some books written in Braille. Lots of different topics and, ideas.
You got books in French?
They, in fact, have books in French. The one book is called Baguettes and the History of Baguettes. Talks a lot about baguettes in that book. The word baguette appears 8,422 times. It's a long book. Thank you for asking. Of course, that's part of the original source material. I did not make it up. So,
Absolutely.
Those of you who are searching for, thank you, for items, I guess, is that really, well, we'll start with Merchant. Merchant, you move around and you find places that there would be fingerprints. Your forensics is certainly high enough that you're able to wipe down areas like doorknobs and light switches and all that, so that you're pretty confident that this place has been pretty well sterilized to your being here. There is blood that's been kind of tracked around because, you were in it, and probably the rest of the party was, they're certainly not as in it as you were, but they probably got a little bit on their shoes as they're walking around. It would be a pretty big hassle to clean that. Because it's kind of been tracked over pages of books and the floor. So you'd have to clear all the books up and burn those or whatever, do it, and bleach those, and then bleach the floor, which would show a clear space where there are no books, and a very clean floor, which would be a stark contrast to the rest of the floor, which is very dirty. So, yeah, all of that done. While you're looking around, you do notice that there's what seems to be a piece of paper on the wall that's quite bright. Quite white and bright in contrast to all the other muddied pages.
Merchant will take a look at it.
Yeah. It's a brochure or flyer folded over once that is talking about a group, a self-help kind of group, and it's called the Encounter Group, operating out of a small church nearby. The imagery is definitely striking because you see that there's kind of the main idea throughout the whole brochure is there are people that are wearing masks. And the idea is anonymity in solidarity is kind of their motto. Talking about trauma and building worlds that they can exist in that are more positive than the ones that they used to exist in. The group meets quite often, and so the schedule is one that's, full, different days, different times, and there is a group tonight. There's a group happening tonight at, I would say about maybe 6 p.m., 5:30. We'll go with 5:30. I suppose it won't say either, so 5:30. Right now, it's about 3 for reference. The again, the brochure is odd not only because of the imagery of people wearing masks and building new worlds, but also it's bright white, not been sullied with oil or gasoline or sweat.
Merchant will snatch it off the wall and put it in his pocket. And while in his pocket, will tear a little piece off of the typewritten paper that says, "I will write the play." And he just kind of pokes it into his mouth subtly while facing away from everyone and start to chew.
The rest of you looking around the room, again, pages everywhere. If you'd like to investigate something in particular, please let me know, and I'm happy to help you with that.
Yeah, so I was going to be donning gloves and checking out the pages that were sticking out of the wounds on Exeter's body.
You grab a chunk out of one of the wounds. It looks to be a couple of different books here. The first one is called, the first one doesn't really have, you can't tell exactly, it's like page 35 of a book. Seems to be a larger page that's been crumpled up. So you unfold a little bit. The excerpt from that page says, message number 3114B, origin unknown, 1961. You are not the one, but you are one like him. Sleep near the tower, let the lion choose. And in the margin, there is a message written. They told me this before the gears spun up the first time. Whitwer heard it too. He thought it was nonsense. He was wrong. Do you want to look at another page in the wounds?
Yeah, I mean, I think the read is pretty much just generally examining the body. So he is probing each of these wounds. He's taking out the paper that's in them. He's looking at the wall. He's like seeing, like kind of prodding at his midsection, like has his like internal structure of his body like warped to accommodate the width of this door, or are his bones just fucking crushed? Like he wants to see what's going on.
Yeah, gotcha. So the wounds here, again, many kinds of different paper from different books are stuffed into them. And tearing through, you see, fiction, nonfiction. You see a couple of like images from books that seem to have illustrations. The wounds look again as if they were made with a curved knife or a curved implement. They've got this kind of deep thing happening in the middle of the wound, as if you're kind of cutting out a certain section. His waist or his hip area where he's coming through this door, you kind of look down there and move his shirt a little bit. I'm not sure how many of you have all like tied a balloon. That's kind of what's going on at his midsection. It's definitely like kind of tied off, and as you look, you see that the door is just a drawing. The door is made in chalk. I'll have you roll SAN on that one, because specifically Reed, since you're examining so deeply here, that you're positive you saw his body extend into the wall when you walked in, but now this red door doesn't exist.
I've rolled an 85 over, so
you in fact lose 1 SAN from the unnatural.
Got it.
Nothing else about the body. I mean, clearly clearly the blow that killed him was the one from the typewriter. He probably would have bled out from one or more of his injuries at some point, pretty quick after he was, given those wounds.
I want to go through the books and I'm going to assume they're handling everything. I'm going to put on gloves. I'm going to go through the books and write down any titles I don't recognize so I can check them when we get back to see if any of them don't exist or shouldn't exist. If there's anything that's clearly written in a script which is like I don't recognize, I'm going to like pull it out from the shelf just a little bit. Anything that like stands out as a text we've already seen, I'm going to pull it out.
Yeah, you work through the books. There are a large number of them. There are so many that it would be difficult for me to give them all to you, but certainly there are books here that shouldn't exist. Submerged Signs, The Sacred Alphabet of Drowning. We've got the Book of Sand. We have a horse with many names. There are many kinds of books, some sensical, some nonsensical. When you open up what appears to be a book that has kind of a trifold insert, the larger like imagery thing, you open it and you allow the trifold to fold out so you can see what's on it. But as the trifold unfolds, it just keeps unfolding, almost in defiance of you and defiance of the way that it's created. Kind of seems to slither off of the trifold and wrap around your foot, taunt you. Seems to be saying something. Maybe it's hissing at you. You're not sure, but definitely you've seen this amalgamation, this gross distrust of your eyeballs. So why don't you go make a SAN roll as the yellow sign enters your eyeballs?
Yeah, sure. That is, I rolled in anticipation of this moment, an 87, which is well above my threshold.
You lose 2 SAN, and feel compelled to share that.
I'm going to tear the trifold out and throw it and just like start spreading it on the floor on top of the blood and everything in the middle of the room. I've seen this. I know I've fucking seen this. I start saying as I'm just like smoothing it out on top of these like jumbled books. As I'm smoothing it out, my hands are like pressing it down against the blood and sort of like tacking it onto like the stuff underneath it. Where have I seen this?
Go ahead and roll SAN. If you look at it, which you probably all would, you can roll SAN.
11. This is my world now.
Good. You in fact do not lose any SAN from that. You do not feel compelled to share it. Yeah.
But I recognize it as it's been on my wall for the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course, Miranda. You saw it 20 years ago. Saw it in an apartment. Saw it on a poster. Saw it on a postcard. You've probably seen it for 20 years. You just don't remember.
No, that's not it. I know what you're talking about, but that's not it. There's this pathway. Hold on. No, I know this. Fuck. I need maps. I need a map. Fuck. No, okay. There's a bunch of stuff here that people cannot have access to. It smells like gasoline. Millstone, it smells like gasoline.
What are you on about? What's going on?
There's stuff here we can't let people find. Whatever's in the basement, these books, this path, him. We need to remove a lot from here, and it smells like accelerants. I can't be the only one who fucking smells oil and gasoline.
I don't smell shit. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think Millstone should make a sanity roll before he decides how he's going to react to this.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Idea. And that's a fucking 97. That's a dog shit sanity roll, so he definitely loses sanity. How much does he lose?
We can go 4.
Is that temp insanity?
No, 5, I think it's 10.
5? Okay.
Yeah.
Millstone's like, it doesn't smell like, I don't smell shit. I don't smell anything. But in reality, Millstone has trembling fingers on the lighter fluid that he always keeps on himself. As our avid listeners may know, Millstone has developed a habit of burning small effigies of the large apartment building he set on fire 20 years ago as a way of coping with the many feelings, including deep guilt that he feels about that. And so, he, almost kind of against his own will, pulls that out of his pocket.
Not you, Millstone. You're not leaking. I mean, the whole place from the basement up to here already smells like it. Listen, fires draw attention, right? They just do. But there's so much here we can't let people find. So we need to cover it up like we're fumigating the place, or burn it, or do something. Because if we start carrying out every fucking book in here and half of a man, that's going to attract as much attention as fucking anything. We cannot let people read these books. We cannot let them find him, and we cannot let whatever is in the basement kill somebody who just wanders in here.
So, we burn it?
Seems like we got no choice.
We could start the fire real small. Give us plenty of time to get out before it accelerates too far.
I'm not fucking doing it this time.
You don't have to.
Don't worry.
I'll fucking do it. I don't care. The point is we, in as much as we ever have a fucking duty to anybody or a job, we got to make sure other people don't get fucking dragged into this shit.
That is the job.
It has some kind of gravity. It has some kind of pull on people. And okay, give me the lighter fluid. Give me matches. I need you guys to clean off as best you can. Head out. I'm gonna rig a starter. I will leave separately. It will go off a while after we leave, but 10, 20 minutes. We can watch from a couple of ways over, wait and see for emergency responders to show up.
Yeah. What about the neighbor that we just spoke to and he saw us entering the property? Bunch of strangers that don't live here.
They'll know it's arson. They can try to track us, but we didn't give names. We gave a very fake cover story. There are no security cameras in this neighborhood that I saw coming in. They're going to have a hard fucking time finding us. And they might manage it, but we will make space before then. And if you want me to fucking try to frame that asshole, I will do it. I don't give a shit right now, okay? I can use, yes. Okay, hold on. No, I can frame him. I've got something for this.
Whatever you say. I honestly don't give a shit. I'm gonna go. And Reed is just despondent at the idea of burning another building down and going through this bullshit again.
Reed loves buildings. You know, he's just an architecture fan.
So, Merchant the more than casual observer would note that he's looking very conflicted. Like he wants to jump in, and like he's tensing whenever the word like burn or destroy is being brought up. High human would note he maybe doesn't think it's a terrible idea that people get drawn into this anymore. That may not be his frame of reference, but when Millstone says I'm out of here, he's gonna take that as his cue to exit this situation and say, yeah, let's walk out, let's get out of here. Meridian, this horse seems pretty lame. And he was lame too. Merchant will nod at Meridian once and just go out the door.
Reed's going to turn to Meridian as he begins to walk out the door. And he's not going to say anything, but that look is just going to say, like, you hear this fucking guy? Like, kind of like communicating, like, wow, he really doesn't sound too broken up about the man that he just killed. It almost kind of feels like he wanted to do it, kind of tapping into his high human. It's like, yeah, something's fucky with Shoemaker for sure. And that's it. And he walks out.
And then there were two.
So what now, Miranda?
Okay. You are better at moving without being noticed than I am. I assume. You are going to take some things from Exeter's house, a couple books, anything valuable we find, and you are going to stow it at the neighbor's property, along with, I'm going to draw up a design for an incendiary device and give it across to you, okay? I want you to try to get into his property, a shed, whatever, hide these someplace. I'm going to set the fire, set up an incendiary device here that will go off in a while, but it'll be obvious to any arson professional. Throw some doubt on this guy next door. Just make it seem like, there's some confusion around it. We're not going to commit a perfect fucking crime here, but we can at least slow down the cops for a while we do what needs to be done. Okay. So, here she grabs a blank piece of paper, draws a design for a simple timer-based incendiary device, not even a timer-based, but just a wick, basically. Some notes about wick length and material and lighter fluid. Hands it over to him. To Meridian, says, find some valuable but normal stuff around, and just worst comes to worst, just drop it in the dude's trash. And while he does that, she's gonna go about actually making, a small-scale wick-based incendiary device that she can use to start a fire once they're away from the building for 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. You've read the Anarchist Cookbook enough times to be pretty all right at making something of this variety. It's not very difficult, really.
I have a little demolitions. I have a decent amount of criminology and engineering.
What is your demolitions?
My demolitions is 40.
Okay, yeah. You toss together something that is not pretty or nice, but certainly would make stuff go boom.
Cool. This means that Meridian and I are like separated and alone in the house for a while. And I am like putting this together, sitting on top of this enormous fold out like image, tacky with blood of the yellow sign.
Yeah.
Putting this thing together and like cursing how stupid it fucking is that we're in this situation. And when I'm finally done with it, I am going to not even look for Meridian. I'm going to assume that he has done his job, essentially, and I'm just going to bail out through a side door, window if I have to, back door, whatever, and then walk through a couple backyards that are like scope out first, and then walk through a couple backyards before I walk onto the street.
Time passes. Not much of it, but enough that you're both kind of wondering where the other is. Perhaps you link back up in the garage.
Well, I know this fucker has a car, so at least we can get away pretty fast.
We'll take the car. We'll have to ditch it at some point, but you've got gloves, yeah?
Don't worry, Miranda. They can't find me anyway. I'm already dead.
Yeah, well, fair. Okay, what are we working with here?
The vehicle in the garage is a much, much out-of-date Nissan Altima.
Okay. Practical, easy to work with. Old enough that it won't be all fucking bullshit under the hood. You know how to do this, Merch? Sorry, Meridian, or should I take it?
No, these aren't the same cars as my youth. You probably should handle this one.
Okay. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm going to check and see if the door's locked before, if it is not locked, I'm just going to break out the driver's side window with whatever tools in the area. I'm not going to bother trying to jimmy it, and then I will reach in, unlock it, open it, and start fiddling under the steering column to try and get the starter to turn over.
You pull for a while, the door does not seem to move, but you realize it's a push door. So after you push the door in, you're able to get in there and hotwire the car. Sorry, if that was a push-pull joke, it's all right.
Gotcha. I was just busy imagining the push door on an Altima. Like, that's a hell of a modification.
Libby's lost
That's
it.
like the craziest thing we've talked about so far, actually, I think.
Yeah, that's
Roll
right.
sand for
We'll
a
put
natural.
Sliding
stuff.
French doors on his Nissan Altima.
It has a revolving door.
Yeah. It's good. You open the door,
Right.
you hop under there. What's your criminology or microelectronics or whatever you want to use to try to get this thing to start?
Yeah, I have a criminology of 50 and a microelectronics of 60, engineering of 60.
Yeah, more than enough in enough areas that you're able to get this 2006 Nissan Altima to turn over. I suppose it's only 10 years old at that point, so it's not that much of a shit wagon. I will say that as you kind of finish getting it hot wired, you notice that on the passenger seat there is a long screwdriver. So you look up to the steering column and it looks like the column is punched, meaning that somebody jammed the screwdriver through it, used it to turn over the engine and drove with it.
I'm going to check for a license and registration in the glove compartment and see if it belongs to Exeter or if this is on a car that he previously stole.
Yeah. There's there is no registration or insurance in the glove box. There are 2 or 3 game like arcade tokens that are in the glove box, but nothing else.
Well, she's fucking moving. Let's get out of here. We'll try and pick up the others on the way.
Yeah.
Can you get the garage door open or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, and can you drive? I'm fucking useless.
I can, sure.
All right. You switch seats, hop in, open the garage door. It complies, creaking and moaning as it opens, as an old garage door typically does. You back out of the driveway. Maybe take a look for a moment at a house that seems to stand in spite of itself. And then turn and drive down the street. You catch up with Merchant and with Millstone a little ways down the road. They've kind of stopped close-ish to a street light and are discussing, or not discussing, I suppose. I'm not sure what exactly they would be doing, but they're together, certainly, by this street light.
I am going to close my eyes and hyperventilate a little bit as I like lean against the window and just fucking start to lose it. Like let it all like flow out now that we're out of the fucking house. The horrible, awful house.
Okay. Millstone and Merchant, you getting in the vehicle and kind of like making a plan there?
Yeah, so I'm guessing we see a car just like roll up. We see Miranda throw on the brakes and then just like head against the dash. And I'm gonna, turn to my companion and be like, oh shit, get in the car. I'll lead the way. I'll get in the car.
Yeah, I'll just say, get in, losers. We got a city to burn.
A woman walking her dog nearby,
Nice.
like, oh my god! No, that does not happen.
I shoot her dog.
And this is the plot to John Wick.
Guns drawn.
She is John Wick. So you get in the vehicle. The four musketeers now together inside of the place where many great plans were made. Nissan Altima, back seat, front seat. There are a couple of roads ahead of you. What do you think that the team is going to do?
So Merchant will reach into his pocket and produce the brochure and say, hey, when we were investigating, this jumped out at me. It doesn't have all the detritus and dust that everything else had. It looked brand new. It looks like this group, and look, there's references to masks, there's building worlds, all just felt too familiar. And I think maybe tonight before we go back to the Dorchester, some of us should check out this group.
Well, I mean, as someone who has apprehended fugitives at a cult's compound, I think that I'm uniquely qualified to check that out with you. So I'm game if you are.
Yeah, let's do it for sure.
Meridian and I should chase down the head nurse. She was behaving oddly at the Dorchester. She didn't have so many of the people working there had some telltale signs of some kind of degradation or something going on, and she seemed not. I want to know what she's working with. I want to check in on her before we go back there. Meridian, can you back me up on that?
Yeah. They're not well.
Yeah, no one is.
Uttering our favorite new t-shirt slogan here at the Null Project, no one is, punctuates the end of your time near this abomination of a place. The place where your friend nearly died, the place where one of your friends did. And as you drive, as the sun begins to make its journey down in the west, the sound of an explosion punctuates your entering the highway, getting on the highway. The smoke and the flames and the howl of the sirens is something that you are unfortunately accustomed to, the thing that haunts you in nightmares. So I would say that it even maybe begins to burgeon more. You've kind of gained another level in trauma today, as another house, another place cursed or blessed by whatever is continuing to exist, if that is what it's doing, burns behind you. Maybe cowardice, maybe a sense of completeness. Emotions that rush through each of you in a way that you don't hope to understand. You just hope to not feel them. And as you make your way and you decide that it would be best, really, truly, if you split this party into two groups, each on their own mission, to hopefully understand better what the hell is going on here. You drive past a billboard. None of you read the billboard, none of you care what it says, none of you really even pay attention to it. And as you drive by, once again, our lovely camera crew that does exist and is there with you in world zooms in on a sign for what seems to be an acting company putting on a show. The billboard filled with sights of marionettes and busboys and bellhops running around what appears to be a pandemonious hotel, grand and wide, faces familiar and not familiar. The slogan for the show there sits, it says, "Look then, beyond the footlights of the moon to turned faces, lost in wonder, why here, why now? So they might know the joy of the author's intent and the certainty found in an exit well-deserved." We'll pick up with our team, split into two, next time.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dang.
We're splitting the party, everyone. So cool.
Splitting it up.
Classic of the investigative genre.
Very nice. Very nice.
I've been watching a lot of Columbo recently.
As we all have.
You have mentioned that.
As always, I will send
Good night,
you
y'all.
home with... Oh. It's like... There are like 3 Box Elder Bugs above me right now. I better end the
Hell
show
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah,
A little
do
announcement to
a little
everyone.
outro. Oh,
Before our outro, and that is, I've fallen in love with Ty. I've decided to move to the West Coast and pursue him. I am bringing this up here, not so Ty knows, but so that I can ask his father, who's of course Andy, for permission to court Ty.
Phenomenal. Court.
what the fuck is happening? Is this going in the show? What the hell?
What a
I
happy
don't know, that's your
moment.
decision, man.
What the heliante?
Well, all I can say...
I am, after all, the best dad ever.
So true.
Full circle,
Yes.
huh? Look at that.
Best daddy ever.
I will be... Is that going to make it in the show, Ty? No.
Zaddy. With a Z.
Zaddy.
My goal's always been to have bad zaddy energy.
This is all going in the show.
All of our
I'll
YouTube
answer my own
subscribers- What? No, all of our subscribers on YouTube do get an invite to the wedding, if it happens, obviously. So be aware of that. If you are on Patreon, you will be you're a member of either the groom's or bride's party or other groom's party. You'll be there. Don't worry. What else? Charlie will be officiating. I don't.
Craig is a bitch.
Craig is definitely a bitch. Well said.
Craigathy will be there in spirit.
You'll have to join the Discord to learn more about Craig.
And watch us on
Our
YouTube.
ever-present friend.
Don't forget about Craig and also our YouTube. Because we do a really cool audio thing, but like, damn, our faces are nice, huh? Real good. Real good.
And thanks to those who've been dropping comments. It's been really fun to read and
For real.
respond, whether it's on Reddit, YouTube, Spotify, whatever. It's really fun.
The Spotify comments are kicking up, and I'm liking them.
We read them all.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to interact with y'all out there. We're doing a fun thing, and it's fun to do it with y'all.
Big happy. Don't forget that tomorrow needs you. And have a lovely, lovely rest of your day, week, month, wherever you are. Bye.
Peace, y'all.
Deuces.
Goodbye.
Bye.
That's a wrap.
All right.
Shall we stop recording?
That's a
Okay.
wrap.
Oh, recording, Zaddy.
Audacity.
Before we sign off, I want to take a moment to talk about something very close to my heart. This podcast is about exploring darkness and fear, but in real life, those feelings can be overwhelming. I want to remind you that if you're feeling lost, lonely, or struggling, you don't have to face it alone. There are people who care about you and want to help. If you're in the U.S., you can call or text 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, for free, confidential support 24/7. Wherever you are, there are resources and there is hope. You matter and your story matters.